What's going on, Victoria? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So it is Thanksgiving. I want to thank everybody for listening and joining in on the Approach podcast. It has been, did we skip a week on the podcast? It's been a few
We
days.
had one. It's been a few days. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
one go out early last week, I think. So we're now sort of towards the end of the following week.
We're just busy helping people get healthy over here. So
Yeah.
the podcast is taking a back seat for a couple of days as we help everybody. So
Yeah. Well,
we have a good topic today, right?
we do. We're going to talk about self-care
Yeah.
and the importance of that. But before we get onto that, I just wanted to say that obviously we're wrapping up our turkey challenge today because it is Thanksgiving. And so we've had lots of members' results already coming in this morning, and people are very, very happy.
Yeah,
So,
it's amazing, so have done those special Zooms with everybody in the challenge, and I don't know, maybe I'm a softie. I don't know, call me whatever you want, but I get like so emotional because I am sitting there live with these members and just hearing their success stories is unbelievable. We had one member who went to the store, bought her turkey, and she bought the turkey the exact pounds that she lost, which was like 26.8 pounds.
yeah,
And she posted that, which is, how can you not get emotional about that? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
she's like, this is my turkey right here. Like, I can't get
yeah.
another turkey because that was her like weight loss in this challenge. So
Yeah. And she was saying that carrying that turkey around, just even around the shop to buy it and then to have a photo with it, she couldn't believe that that amount of weight was what she'd actually been carrying every day on her body.
yeah, we
And
we
I
actually,
think,
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. Go ahead.
I was just to say we talked about that again. That's how why I was kind of getting like emotional in our
Yeah.
Zoom session with all the members, and because yeah, she's like, I could like, I just to put it in the cart was so
Yeah.
heavy, and I was like, yeah, like even 20, 25, whatever, 30
Yeah.
pounds, it is heavy, and people don't realize it. And it's something we talk about all the time. Is like, don't ever say only in front of like pounds lost. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
only lost 20 pounds. No, 20 pounds is a lot.
Yeah.
So
And I think as humans, we're very good at coping with things. So when you are carrying extra weight, your body just learns to kind of cope with it. So you're maybe not as aware of how
mhm.
exhausting it is carrying that little bit of extra weight around with you until you've lost it and you realize how much more energy you've got and how much lighter you feel. And then you pick up something of that weight amount and just think, how on earth was I carrying this on my body for so long?
Oh yeah. I mean, like even I'll tell you, I put on 5 pounds when I was in India just because I I couldn't eat fresh food because of the water thing and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
so my options weren't, that great. And so I kind of
Yeah.
knew it, right? I was like, look, let me just get through. I didn't want to be sick when I was there because I had a lot to do. So I just was like, let me just eat kind of
Yeah.
not whatever, but I stay within my fasting time, just my choices just by nature couldn't be the best because
Yeah.
of what it was. So my point being, as I got back, I ran every day, and but that extra 5 pounds, even I could feel it on my
Yeah.
run and in my ankles, and like so, yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's off already though, by the way. So if
Yeah.
anybody's asking.
So yeah, huge shout out to anyone listening who did the loser turkey before Thanksgiving challenge. We're very proud of everybody, and we will be announcing the winner of the Apple Watch, and I'm sure giving some shout outs to some other members who've done really well on Monday.
Yeah.
So once I've had all the results come in, we will, yeah, announce the
Exciting
winner.
stuff. I was just thinking as we had Louisa, I posted her 96-pound loss the other day, and
Yeah,
I try not to put anybody's name if I don't like technically have permission. I just for
yeah,
their privacy. And she messaged me like immediately and says, please use my name. I am so
yeah,
proud of my weight loss. I was like, well, thank you. And so that was another just, awesome win and testimony just to have someone so proud of obviously their weight loss and want us to use their name because not everybody wants to be so open that way,
yeah,
especially with their weight loss journey. So again, we have so many stories like this just within this week alone.
yeah, absolutely.
So much to be grateful for.
So much to be grateful for. I
you, you,
I find it so funny because we just don't obviously celebrate
yeah, I
Thanksgiving at
know
all.
it's so
So
funny.
yeah, it's really funny how much it means to some people, how some people celebrate it, and other people it's, just
Yeah.
maybe a bit more of a day. But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. If we break it down, I don't know if it's the best
Mm,
holiday, but I'm not going to
yeah,
get all political on here.
yeah,
Yeah. So
exactly. So self-care.
are we going to do any
I know.
questions? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I've got questions. We'll do some questions at the end. We'll do some member
Oh, okay. Because
questions.
I thought you
Uh,
like starting off with some questions, so I was kind of
well,
like
I know we did
preparing
that, and
myself.
then we've sort of been doing this like finish with like 2 or 3 questions from
Okay.
members that I've taken from TikTok and stuff. So
You're in
we
control.
will. Yeah. So I know that Rachel is obviously a huge advocate for self-care. She's done some amazing self-care workshops
Yeah.
for the Approach members. But what does self-care mean to you?
So funny enough, I go through the course all the time myself, because I
Yeah,
just like going through it and seeing our content. And I stumbled upon Rachel's self-care workshop just
yeah,
yesterday. And so I was like, wow, this is so great. And yes, Rachel is a humongous self-care advocate.
yeah,
What does self-care mean to me? It is about prioritizing yourself. I don't know if there's even a better way to put it. It's about prioritizing yourself, because and it's something I talk about all the time. We all go day to day thinking that we're the best mom and the best spouse
mm,
and the best whatever. But if we're not taking care of ourselves as a
yeah,
priority, there's no way. We are totally, totally fooling ourselves.
yeah,
If you don't mind, I'll tell a quick story.
yeah,
uh, this is going back maybe 10, 15 years. I took on, like, I was running restaurant. I had my own restaurants. I opened up another restaurant. I had a third restaurant, all while I was still kind of private chefing for a family that I had worked for forever. And I thought I was like all big and bad and I could juggle it all and do it all.
yeah,
And I totally wasn't. And I was just lying to myself and telling myself that I could do all this, just
yeah,
because nothing was like caught on fire just yet. But I totally wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't, taking the right time to run everything properly. And it totally showed that. I mean, I was leaving ovens on and stoves on and leaving
yeah,
bags in my car with groceries in. I was like just so out of it.
yeah,
So again, I think it just goes back to not prioritizing yourself, not taking the time for
yeah.
yourself. So
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because when you see a lot of self-care things online, I think people think it's like having a bath and lighting a candle. And it's that kind of like pamper yourself thing, which of course is lovely to take that time out. But for me, the thing that is most beneficial in terms of helping me reset and just come back to myself and just give myself time is always just a walk on my own outside
mm,
without Isaac wanting to run to a park or
yeah.
without the dogs wondering whether they're going to bark at another
The
dog,
little
like just
yappy
me.
dogs.
Yeah. They're not that one of them is pretty happy, to be fair.
By the way,
Uh,
Victoria has two chihuahuas, 3
3 2 hours.
chihuahuas. I knew I was wrong.
Yeah.
3 chihuahuas. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot, bless them. They are they're lovely. I
Do they
absolutely
sleep in
adore
bed
them.
with you?
No, not
Oh,
anymore. The first one I got used to come and sleep in the room when it was just me, but he's been with me a long time.
okay.
And yeah, he's been demoted since Adam and Isaac came into my life.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're lovely. I love them. And my first chihuahua came to me through a friend when I really, really needed something in my life. And she was like, I've got you a dog. And honestly, it was a really, really
The
big deal. It was lovely.
dogs
Um,
love you through thick and thin. One of the best.
100%.
You could leave for 2 minutes, you come back, the dog misses you just as much as if
I
you've
know.
left for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and to be honest, the dogs are kind of part of my self-care, like just spending time outdoors, either with the dogs, with Isaac, but then also just having that time on my own,
Mhm.
just to gather my thoughts, to walk with a coffee or a bottle of water and just be like, I'm just here on my own. I have no
Yeah.
responsibilities. I'm outdoors. Being outdoors always is a huge reset to me. I
Do you
love
try
being on.
and tune off work and stuff like that at that time,
Yeah.
or is it your
Yeah.
some people like me use that time to focus on some things for work? Or so what do you do?
I like to not take my phone, so I like to just not have anything with
Oh,
me, just
that's
a
why you're
coffee
not
or a drink.
answering me, huh? No, just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I'll be. um, I try to tune out of work, but I also find as soon as my mind is reset, I start to feel creative again. So
Mhm.
that time will actually, I'll probably come back with some good ideas.
Yeah.
And that just kind of happens naturally rather than me, sitting and thinking, like, what are we going to do? Like that time to just reset, think about anything else, enjoy being outside. And then your brain kind of starts to work properly again.
So what would you say, and I'm like putting you on the spot here, what would you say to people that maybe would feel anxiety from that, right? They think that their mind race, because I might be one of them who like, if I leave my
Yeah.
phone, I'm like, this was a terrible idea. Like where I have all
Yeah.
these ideas running through my head. What do I do with them kind of thing? So
Yeah.
what would your advice be for maybe someone like myself or
I think it's just important that you push through those anxieties and you just get used to spending time away from technology.
yeah,
Like I am when I come down in the morning and I set up to work, I'm literally like laptop, computer, phone, all on, all different tabs open, different things.
yeah.
And that's me then going from helping our customers to doing something more creative to then working with our app developers to then speaking with you to doing a podcast to then I'll go back and there'll be a customer thing. Like it's just
If you
tabs
guys
open.
listening at home didn't realize Victoria does it all.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. But it's just you have all these tabs are open in your mind and actually just
Hmm.
being able to close them all off and go, right now it is just me on a walk. And
Yeah.
I love it. That for me is my biggest self-care moments, being outside on my own.
And sometimes I feel like I even have to maybe like shut you off, like, because I'm saying sometimes like, hey, like, don't worry about this right now. Nothing is gonna happen
Yeah.
until tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
something that we could all maybe tell ourselves from time to time. I got that kind of thought process through. I read a book one time about, I think it was like the CEO of Pepsi or one of these large companies, and she would come in and put her phone in like the credenza by the door,
Right.
and like that was it, like work mode was off. Now I have
Yeah.
no ability to do that, but
No.
I totally envy people that can like shut off or,
Yeah.
or separate work life from home
Yeah.
life.
I really have made a conscious effort recently to make sure I do it when I'm around Isaac because
Mm,
he started saying things like, "Why are you on your phone?"
hmm.
or "Can you, mummy, put your phone down?" And I just thought, "Oh
Yeah,
no, this is just not what I
terrible.
want." And
Yeah,
even on a day like today, he's been at nursery since 8 this morning. I'll go and pick him up at 5:30. I've then probably got a 2 hour window before he goes to bed. There is no need for me to be on my phone in those 2 hours. There is no need for me to answer an email in those 2 hours. I can
yeah.
do it when he's gone to bed if I choose to. So I'm making a real conscious effort from the second I pick him up to just be like, my phone is over there. I'm not looking at it until he's gone to bed. And then I will probably
Yeah.
work.
No, I
But
understand. I am not. I wish I was better at that as well, especially driving in the car, like having conversations with the kid instead of being on your phone. Obviously,
yeah.
you shouldn't be on your phone driving anyways. But I'm really bad at that too. I've had moments where I've been better. Right now, I'm at like, because of just we're so crazy with work, that I
Yeah.
haven't been that great. But I would like to get to that point. And Simon Sinek, I don't know if you know who Simon Sinek is. He's like a motivational speaker. He does this kind of TED talk to where he like walks on stage with his phone and he's like, "Do you think I'm interested in you guys right now?" And it's like, and everyone's kind of like, "No," because
Yeah.
he's not looking at his phone, he's not answering calls or anything. But just because his
Yeah.
phone is in his hand, that he's not 100% like attentive.
Yeah.
And so then he walks out on the stage again without anything. Is like, obviously it's a humongous difference just by having that phone in your hand.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. What about things like gratitudes? And are you someone for like thinking about gratitudes and journaling and things like that?
Yeah, so I try and journal. Like I don't journal every day as much as I'd like, but I do try and get into a habit. So like a good morning routine for me is like I get up. I'm usually up super early, 4 a.m. or whatever. I'm on my phone checking emails and stuff. But
Yeah.
that's because we deal with
Yeah.
India and so the time zone and stuff like that. So I try and
Yeah.
answer any questions I can at that time. But then I'll get up. Usually I start stretching. I do like a good 10-15 minute stretch. And then yes, I will journal. And that's on most days. I don't do it every day, like not on weekends usually, but most days I like that routine. In fact, that kind of sets my day up even a little better. The days that I
Yeah.
don't get that done, I do feel maybe a little off, or like my day's not complete.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just do a little journal. This one's called the daily journal. I've gone through so many journals. I
Yeah.
have like stacks of journals. So they're all kind of different. This one kind of has what I like about this one, and not to really get off subject too much, but it's really the same questions asked every day. And what I love about it is, even though it's the same questions, I like to try and answer them differently.
Yeah.
And so, or even if I'm answering the same, I know like I'm on the right track, or I'm thinking about the same things. So I kind of like challenge myself to do both, like either answer them differently, or if it's the same, why did I answer it the same, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, what am I grateful for? Like my wife is in here like 90%
Yeah.
of the time, or you've made an appearance in here too. Daily affirmations I think is important.
Yeah.
Good things that happened today. Today I am most excited about, and then
Yeah.
your reflection of the day. So real simple, and it says the same
Yeah.
thing every day. But again, I like trying to answer it either differently, or if I've answered the same, why have I answered the same, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good tool. Years ago, I did a like 40 days of happiness series on my Facebook.
So Rachel
And
will make me do that January 1st. We've done it several times
yeah,
now. Yeah.
I love it. And it's different, like different techniques every day, different self-care techniques. And I just really love it. And honestly, the mood that you end up in, you just look at things. And I'm a positive person anyway. I'm always
You so
trying to
are.
look
You
at
you
like
you encourage me for sure.
I've just always been a like, well, let's see what we can do to make it better type person.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky that that is my natural mindset. But I think gratitudes and journaling really help me to not worry about not being where I think I should be, to remember that actually in the moment I have so much that 10 year ago me would be like, oh my God, you're so lucky to be where you are now. Whereas I'm always thinking, well, we need that little bit more, and we need that, and we need to improve this, and we need to get there. And actually taking that time to just be like, no, we're really lucky, we're really blessed, and we're like we have so much, especially in the world at the moment. Again, don't want to get political, but just so much awful stuff happening everywhere, and just the
Yeah.
gratitude that I feel to be bringing up a child in a safe environment is wild. So I just kind
Yeah.
of feel that how how could you be any happier when you're in that position?
Yeah.
It's yeah,
No, I'm trying to do the same thing myself, and I think you might have even recognized a little difference in the last month or so.
yeah,
But yeah, since I got back from India, I was so absorbed with wanting things to be perfect, especially in our app, and
yeah,
and our abilities to help everybody. And we're doing such an amazing job. And yes, I need to live that day to day even more. And
yeah,
I'm doing a much better job than I was prior. But you're absolutely right. I mean, always trying to look for the future, the more is not the answer.
yeah,
And I'm reminded by this so many times throughout the day, that I need to, and it's a habit, right? It's a habit like everything else, and you have to get pulled back into what you want
yeah,
to do, and not what you're
completely.
used to doing. And so yeah, I'm certainly working on that myself. And we've had obviously this time of year, we're having constant conversations with our kids. Our kids are a little older, and we have a lot of them, and they're, I want.
Yeah,
Um, and so like I'm always trying to remind them of like, stop with the I want, look at all the things that you have. Or if you
yeah,
want something, let's see what we can give away, or let's see what we can
yeah,
donate, that
yeah.
kind of thing. It's not just I want, or, it's just a not the best mindset to have, or to grow up with, or
No.
there's so much to be missed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I actually tell Isaac that he has to do a giving stocking in the lead up to Christmas before Santa will bring him a stocking.
that's
So
great.
we
Ooh, look
we
at it.
go through and we make like a whole bag of like, these are going to go to other children, and Santa's going to bring you some other things. And I think he might even think that his things have been given away by other children and it's just a big swap around.
I like
But
that
that's
too.
fine by me. Yeah, that's fine by me. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to be. And I think it's
Yeah.
worth just saying to people that we do a lot of self-care work within the course on the approach. It kind of
Yeah.
starts off with a lot of self-care, and then we do have Rachel's workshop incorporated
Yeah.
later on in the program. So if anyone who feels like they don't really get that much time for themselves, the approach is a full program to not only help you lose weight and get healthy, but to actually start
Yeah, that's
prioritizing
just
yourself.
one piece to it. Yeah. The self-care, you cannot, if you're not taking care of yourself first, I'm gonna like say that till the day I die. You just need to be taking care of yourself. And then you have the ability to take care of everybody else around you in a
Yeah,
much better way. And
yeah,
you don't realize that until you do it, until you put those actions in place. You think you're giving something up, and the exact opposite happens.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Totally agree.
Well, this was an awesome, insightful podcast as always. You want to ask some questions?
Yeah, I've got a few. They should be quite quick ones, so we'll just rush through them.
Let's
Um,
roll.
well, I know a lot of people actually ask, can they skip the snack part of the day if they don't feel hungry enough to have it, and why is it
Good
important
que-
to have that snack?
Good question. Somebody asked me this on the live the other day, and I'm always so snarky. I gotta work on that too on my lives. Um, because I go through like what you should be doing, and then people come on and say, "Well, what if I do this?" I'm like, "Well, if you want to do that, then don't listen to anything that I'm saying because you're just doing what
Yeah.
you want." But um, no, the snack, there is lots, there is so much method to the madness that we do here. I don't particularly like those bookend type of meals, as I call it, because it
Hmm.
does, I don't think it does the best thing for our metabolism. Obviously,
Yeah.
back in the 80s and 90s, we were eating so many small meals throughout the day, and that was like a big metabolizing booster, like eating these small meals every couple of hours. And I think that third meal does act as a good, thing for our metabolism. Plus, as I mentioned before, our snack when first starting the program is fruit or
Hmm.
some of those natural sugars, which I think we all need to get us through these 12, 14-hour days.
Yeah.
It's getting that sugar at a time where I think we need it most. And obviously
Hmm.
in fruit, you have antioxidants, you have, nutrients and vitamins and things like that. So it is an important piece that I don't think people should be skipping.
Yeah. Perfect. I know we often say to people that you shouldn't work out for the first month to
Hmm.
sort of 2 months, depending on where they've been before. But what if somebody is already an avid worker outer
Yeah, I
when
think
they start the program?
another great question. Are you like sneaking in on my lives and not telling me that you're there?
I watch things. I know things. Nothing gets
um,
past me.
Yeah, I tell people to bite the bullet. The workout isn't going to help your weight loss success anymore. So don't look about it as that way. If you want to go for some walks or like do some light yoga, that's all good. But the heavy lifting and the gym workouts, you just don't do it for 30 days. It's not going to kill you to stop for the month. And if you have some sort of membership or whatever, put it on hold. If you
Yeah,
have some trainee packets, I'm sure there'll be more than accommodating to just set it off for the next month or whatever. They don't want to
yeah.
lose your business, those trainers. So yeah, just wait the month and focus on your health and nutrition first.
And final question is people always ask about different herbal teas and
Hmm.
different kind of concoctions that they can make. I know we say water, black coffee, or tea.
Yeah.
And so are there any kind of herbal teas that people can't have? Are there different ingredients that they need to look out for? Where do we kind of stand on all of
Yeah,
that?
there's so many teas out there, and I don't know all of them. And I get thrown,
Yeah,
questions about this all the time, like, "Oh, is this tea okay? Is that tea okay?" If it's an herbal tea, generally speaking, it's got to be fine. One thing I don't know and haven't done too much research on yet, is those mushroom teas are a new thing.
yeah.
I would, if I had to like guess right now, if you put me on the spot, I would say that they would break your fast,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know for sure. And things like that. Listen, I just don't do it. I mean, it's not gonna like if you want to have the luxury of some of those weird, crazy teas, do it at a time where like you're in your eating window, like
Yeah,
after dinner, have your tea or something.
yeah,
You don't want to jeopardize that fat burning process, especially in the morning time or whatnot. So just have a normal herbal tea.
Yeah.
There's plenty of those out there.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of our questions.
Awesome. Well, again, this was an amazing podcast. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving here in the States. But no, I hope everybody, has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and obviously maybe uses this as motivation to do some self-care this week. It doesn't take much. And I think a lot of people think
No.
it's just like all or nothing mentality, and it's black and white. No, just start with a few minutes a day. Like, again, start with that, 10, 15, 20-minute walk. I think it'll do
Yeah,
your mind and body good.
absolutely.
Um, Awesome, guys. So if you want more information, obviously you can always go to jointheapproach.com. But the best way and the fastest way to come join the program is to just download the app. Go to the App Store or the Play Store and just type in The Approach. We do have some final days left of the trial, right? I know that an email
Yeah,
went out a couple of days ago. So we have a
yeah.
7-day trial in place. If you're looking to do that, you can start maybe after this Thanksgiving feast. You're ready to get going, so you can start with that. But we do have also a month-to-month program. If you do our 5-month program, you get this 6-month for free, and we have a tremendous special with our 8-month program where you get 4 months free. So that's a total savings of over $200. So that's pretty amazing too. So
Yeah.
all right, well, thank you,
Awesome.
Victoria.
My pleasure.
I will talk to you later. Take care.